ACC Network Extra is proud to welcome you to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, the beautiful Boshamer Stadium for a Tobacco Road special. The North Carolina Tar Heels, number 15 in the country, host NC State. Two teams at 16-11 in the ACC. A whole lot of Wolfpack red and Carolina blue. Major implications in this series as you see four teams at 16-11. The word is the winner of this series could host a regional. Alongside former Tar Heel great Paul Shuey, I'm Dean Linke. Along with those implications, two primetime players on display.
Yeah, number 2 hitter for North Carolina and top offensive weapon, Michael Bush. He's right now currently looking at going 16th overall in the Major League Draft. And then NC State has Will Wilson, their number 2 hitter and top offensive weapon. Looks like there could be some fireworks today.
Some great pitchers on the mound for North Carolina. The right-handed junior, number 23, Tyler Baum, 7-3 on the season.
Yeah, Tyler Baum, he's a winner. He's been a great pitcher for UNC since he's been here. He's a great athlete. You see him out there warming up. He's got a football in his hand. He always has a ball. He's covers the field pretty well. He's got electric stuff. Great fastball up to 95. Good breaking ball. And should be a good one.
Take a look at the NC State batting order. Remember, this NC State team started the season 19-0. First time ever they were number 1 in the country.
Yeah, they started off really hot, tailed off a little bit, but now they're picking it back up. 2 out of 3 against Clemson, and what a huge series right now. Every pitch is going to matter.
Here we go. NC State, North Carolina, arguably the best series in the country. Tonight, tomorrow night, and then Saturday on ESPNU. Dean Linke with Paul Shuey, the number 2 pick in the 1992 Major League Baseball draft. Tyler Baum, and this will be a base hit for Johnny Butler, the sophomore, hitting .260 with a leadoff single for the Wolfpack.
Yep, you know, NC State's excited to get started that way. Looked like a ground ball to short, but just a little off.
Let's take a look at the North Carolina defense behind Tyler Baum, left to right across the outfield. Bush, Harris, and Roberts, left to right across the infield. Freeman, Soretti, McGee, and Sabato. The battery with Baum, Brandon, Martirano. So Butler on first base, 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts. This will be Will Wilson, top 20 prospect that we just told you about. And Will Wilson this year hit a home run in the first inning against UNC Wilmington. As he's rounding first base, he runs into the first baseman, and running into the first baseman caused him to miss 8 games during this season with concussion-like symptoms. But he has been back, obviously, in the batting lineup for quite some time and having a great season. .346 with 15 home runs.
Well, imagine that after missing 8 games. I mean, that's pretty impressive already if he hadn't missed any.
So Will Wilson, 54 RBI, 47 runs. Wilson hits hard. This could be 2. Soretti, a little flick over. Nice turn for the Tar Heels as McGee playing second base and wiping out that leadoff single.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a big play. UNC they've had a little bit of defensive troubles, but they really had a good one over at Pitt. Ashton McGee, who's not normally the second baseman, makes a nice play and starting off on a good note defensively, and we'll see how it goes.
So that's going to bring up Evan Edwards, the only senior in the lineup for NC State, hitting .332 with 13 home runs and 54 RBI, .452 on base percentage.
It's really amazing how similar both offenses are. They've got some number 2, number 3 hitters, or really got a lot of home run potential.
Just missing the outside corner.
95 on that one.
That one catching the corner, Paul.
Yeah, 94 was sink around the outside corner. Double play helped Tyler Baum so much right there. Get those 2 quick outs, especially after giving off that leadoff base hit.
Woo. 94. Tyler Baum with an .818 win percentage at UNC, tied for 6th best overall at UNC with a guy named Paul Shuey who went 18-4. It's pretty good company right there that he's in. And there's a strike 3.
Wow.
Looking at it, Tar Heels with a double play and a K. Down goes Edwards. Harris, Bush, Sabato coming to the plate for the Tar Heels. Great day to go to a ball game. Bosch always ready. North Carolina coming to bat here in the bottom of the first. On the mound for NC State, Paul Shuey, a right-hander, junior, number 27, Jason Parker.
Yeah, Jason Parker's got 3 quality pitches, good fastball, curveball, and changeup. Needs to command the fastball. He struggled a little bit, but his last outing against Clemson was really good. Was able to throw 4 2/3, and then basically passed the ball up to Nick Sweeney, who's been crazy good for NC State. And it'll be interesting today to see how it shakes out, whether Elliott Avent will let him go very far, or I think he has to be pretty clean to go far. He'll go to some real good studs in the bullpen. He's got a bunch of good left-handers.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the North Carolina Tar Heels. We already told you about Michael Bush. Aaron Sabato might, in fact, be one of the hottest players, not just in the ACC, but in the country.
Yeah, he's just got crazy pop to all fields. I just can't get over some of the home runs I've seen him hit. Looks like pop-ups, and then they go out to right field, and it looks like a lefty hammered it over there.
Speaking of lefties, you see a lot of lefties in the lineup. Let's take a look at the NC State defense for Elliott Avent in his 23rd season. It'll be Butler, McDonough, and MacArthur across the outfield. Infield left to right will be Cooper, Wilson, Vasquez, Edwards. Bailey will be catching Parker. That's the NC State Wolfpack defense, with the Tar Heels coming to bat here in the bottom of the first. Beautiful day in Chapel Hill. Carolina blue skies, just a couple white puffs up there, but can't ask for a better early evening for ACC baseball. Tobacco Road special here.
Just feel lucky to be here.
Indeed.
What a game.
So here's Dylan Harris hitting .267 and takes a look at a first pitch strike. As a leadoff hitter, any inning, any time, he's batting almost 400, .398. Talk about a guy who sets the table for the Tar Heels. Dylan Harris, what a nice pickup for Coach Fox.
Yeah, the ability to just pencil him in into center field, and he's led off, he's hit 6, he's hit everywhere, and he still hits. And I don't know if they expect him to have as much pop as he's had, but 6 home runs, he's a dangerous hitter.
6 home runs, 13 doubles, doesn't strike out a whole lot, just 36 times, 23 RBI, 53 runs. And as we said, he gets on, and he's got guys behind him that can bring him home.
Yeah, that 407 on-base percentage is just so key, and you just keep looking at that UNC lineup all the way up and down, and they just make you work as a pitcher.
2-2, foul ball.
Perfect example right here. Just keep the pitcher making more pitches and make him work.
Yeah, these two teams so close. 14 and 15 in the country. NC State 39 and 14. North Carolina 37 and 15. Fouled off 16 and 11 in the ACC. And there's all kinds of tiebreaker scenarios as well. The next scenario is the record versus common opponents. And really, as you start to think about the ACC tournament, 2 through 10 can still kind of flip around. 3 through 6 is really crazy, as that one is high and it's full count. You talk about testing the pitcher, sure, you called it.
Yeah, and Jason Parker, so important that he is able to locate that fastball. Struggled a little bit with it. When his location is there, he's dominant. When it's not, he gets himself in trouble and gives up hits.
A little different feel tonight at the Bosch, I can tell you that. Both dugouts really amped up, both coaches lively. Players talking about this is why they come to North Carolina and NC State respectively. High in the air, Butler under it, and a long fly out in foul territory. 1 up, 1 down for the Tar Heels.
Parker able to get that first out. See if he can settle down and hit his spots. Tough lineup, though. You got Michael Bush sitting there. You're looking, see him in a UNC uniform right now, and you don't know. I know you'd like to see him in a Tiger uniform, but that draft coming up, and these guys jockeying for position right now.
Yeah, Michael Bush, he can do it all, folks. And he's up now. This after Harris just saw 9 pitches, and that's the thing about baseball. You know better than anybody. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily show up in the box score, but the fact that Harris already worked the starting pitcher, Jason Parker, 9 pitches in that opening bat could pay dividends later on, as that one is low to Bush. You talk about a guy who will make you work as well as he comes into this game. A key reason why North Carolina's been 1 or 2 all season long in walks. He walked his 50th time on Tuesday against High Point.
Nice changeup right there by Parker. And Michael Bush takes it. And that's the thing, when you're the quality hitter that Michael Bush is, and you take a dirty changeup like that right away, it makes it tough on the pitcher.
Inside. Bush now at 52 walks. He struck out just 35 times, and he's even in home runs and doubles. 12 doubles, 12 home runs. And now the shift is on with the count 3-1. And there is yet another walk for the Tar Heels. Bush, 53 walks on the season. Second in the NCAA, only to Central Michigan at 329.
And I think that might be his 27th game on base in a row. He's just tough.
So here's Aaron Sabato, had 2 hits against High Point. He's gone 7 straight games with 2 hits or more. That is the kind of streak he is on right now. 20 of 41 in his last 41 at-bats, just absolutely crushing it. 3 home runs during that time, 16 RBI. Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Basically, if you miss out over the plate, it's getting punished. And when you know that, it makes you a little leery to even try to touch the corners.
Swings through that one. Just to tell you kind of how loose everybody is, before the game, we actually took a photo with Elliott Avent, 23 seasons at NC State. Mike Fox, 21 years at North Carolina. And Elliott Avent, as Mike Fox is coming over, is like, is there any way we can get Sabato over here and just kind of scissor tackle him? It was funny that he said that right in front of Coach Fox. 0-2, 1 out. That's the kind of impact Sabato has made as coaches are trying to figure out what to do with this young man who's hitting almost 500 in the last 10 games.
Well, he's hit some balls out off the plate, that are good pitches, and he's hit them out of the park. And he hits the ball so hard it comes off the bat. We talked about the TrackMan data. I mean, his average line drive is about 110. It's above some of the major league stuff.
Here he is again, hitting it pretty deep, way back and off the wall. You said major league. Mr. Sabato red hot in a 2-run home run.
Man, he is just flat out dangerous. And he's feeling it, and he puts it right off the batter's eye, dead center, right off the bat. You talk about making a statement early in the game. North Carolina's got a great record when they score early, and boom. Ooh, that breaking ball caught a lot of the plate, and he just demolishes the ball. It's just different when he hits it. It's just flat out different. He's a special hitter.
Coach Fox told us how special he was before they ever had a first pitch of the season. And he had a few rough spells, Paul, is fair to say, early on. Perhaps was striking out a little more as Soretti keeps it going as he gets a base hit. The Tar Heels, one of the best in the country in the first 3 innings, let alone the first inning. They have been spectacular, scoring a ton of runs, and they've got an early 2-0 lead on the Wolfpack.
Yeah, we just got the TrackMan data for Aaron Sabato's home run. I called it 110 miles per hour off the bat, 28 degrees, 421 feet.
You see that 21-2 when scoring in the first inning. And their numbers over the first 3 innings, pinball machine-like numbers, as Ike Freeman will step in. He's got 38 RBI, 5 home runs. What a smoke show from Sabato, though. Still can't believe it. That was deep off the center field wall there, Paul.
Well, and you could see when he came out of the box, he knew it. He knew it right away. He's just got so much power. When he makes solid contact, she gone. Bottom line, she gone.
Runner going, hit and run. Now heading back, though, is Soretti. As Freeman hit that one well, but MacArthur is under it for the second out.
You had talked about early Sabato struggled a little bit. Well, Soretti did too. Both freshmen came in, got out there, as Coach Fox talked about it, under the lights, and struggled a little. Failed a few times, right? And then once they got it going, man, both of them are sitting there hitting third and fourth. Your freshman, that's a little different than most of the teams we've seen.
So here's Hesterly, who against High Point hit one out to the center field wall, not quite as far as Sabato, obviously, but went off the wall, and he was probably an extra 10 feet from the bounce off the wall to Coach Forbes sending him home for an inside-the-park home run. However, he was the leadoff hitter, so safety first. But if it received the normal carom that you would get off the wall, it would have been a tailor-made inside-the-park home run. As you see a little heat right there from Jason Parker.
So if it had been 2 outs and he hit it, easy inside the Parker?
One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Ready at first base. And fouled away.
And Jason Parker breaking it all out in this first inning. The breaking ball, mixing in some good changeups. Able to get Dylan Harris out, but it's been tough. And you can see he's got 23 pitches already. Talked about Dylan Harris when he had the 9-pitch at bat right away. They're making him work. Now that Dean, that's a strike.
Yeah. Right?
Just missed it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see right here. Misses the spot, but that cuts the plate. It's just one of those. As a pitcher, when you miss your spot, you don't necessarily expect to get the call, but.
That's a great call, Paul. That was a strike. Bailey, though, had to slide his glove over and didn't totally frame it up. Doesn't matter, though, as Parker able to strike out Hesterly, but not before the freshman Aaron Sabato hits home run number 13. This bomb to center field leads the team. The only player with 13 ding-dongs, 2-0. The Bosch filling up Boschmer Stadium, home to the UNC Tar Heels, an outstanding venue for college baseball. So glad you're with us here in Chapel Hill with NC State coming to the plate here in the top of the second. It'll be Bailey, McDonough, and Debo for Elliott Avent and the Wolfpack.
Such a big inning right here after UNC scores for Tyler Baum to go out there and be able to post up a 0. So important to keep that momentum. NC State has a great offense, and if they get it rolling, they can definitely score some runs in a hurry.
Cross for a strike. Well, you said it best after Butler got that hit, and then Baum was able to induce the double play. It really kind of changed the way he approached Evan Edwards.
Yeah, no question. Able to go on the attack much better, not trying to pick. Whereas you look at Jason Parker, once Michael Bush walked, had to make some good pitches to Sabato, and he made some good. The first 2 pitches he made to Sabato were really good.
Martirano actually having a little trouble as well with the transfer back to the pitcher. We were actually talking about you on Tuesday night because we were wondering what's that like as a pitcher when every once in a while the catcher just has trouble getting it back to you.
Yeah, every once in a while you have that with a guy, and it's just it's a little different because sometimes it can get in the catcher's head, but Monterano's never had that issue.
What about for you, though, if that happened? Did it affect your rhythm?
I didn't mind that. The biggest thing for me was the time. I like to work fast. You can see how Tyler Baum works fast. I like to get in that rhythm. But if I had to go chase the ball down and get up there and do it, as long as I was able to go through that routine the same, it was fine.
Full count to Bailey, who's got some pop. 9 home runs on the season, 40 RBI. Full count pitch is outside, and a leadoff walk here for NC State.
Yeah, definitely not what Tyler Baum was looking for right there. But if you're Patrick Bailey, you did a nice job of taking some close pitches.
So that's going to bring up Tyler McDonough, the freshman. The only freshman in the starting lineup here tonight for Coach Avent's Wolfpack. As he comes in hitting .338. He started 52 of 53 games, 4 home runs, 43 RBI, and that on-base percentage almost at .400.
Yeah, that with the RBIs just tells you the story.
If you're wondering about Bailey over at first base, just 1 stolen base attempt, and he was successful, 1 for 1. So not a huge running threat, obviously, for NC State. Back-to-back innings where that leadoff hitter was able to get on, though, for the Wolfpack.
Well, and Tyler kind of cutting the ball off right now, not finishing his pitches. Basically got the guy on first base with Bailey, and looks like he lost his release point for a second.
4 pitches and 2 walks here. Start the second inning for Tyler Baum.
Yep, after your team scores 2 runs, you go out and walk the first 2 guys. I imagine Coach Fox did a little twist over there in the dugout. It's one thing he does not like. Well, he likes it for his team, but hates to give free passes away.
Coach Mike Fox, 21 seasons at North Carolina. As the designated hitter, Brad Debo, Tyler Baum took a little off of that first pitch.
Such a smart pitch right there. Didn't have his release point on the fastball. That's probably a call from Coach Woodard. But able to throw that breaking ball good and hard and maybe get himself back in the count at least.
Debo from Orange High School, hails from Durham, North Carolina, so he knows all about Tobacco Road, North Carolina, Duke, NC State. Keep on going, heading down to Wake Forest. Great universities, great programs, pretty good baseball teams.
Yeah, good baseball all the way around. The quality has just gotten so much better. Tyler Baum doing some pitching right now. Not really feeling the fastball location. Really missed with a couple pitches, maybe just a hair down and a hair up that could have gone his way, but he didn't get them. And probably got a little tight, but now throwing his off speed for strikes.
High in the air and foul. NC State really rolling into this one with another hot streak. We told you they started the season 19-0 before they finally lost on St. Patty's Day in Raleigh to Florida State by a score of 7-5 after beating the Seminoles 16-0 and 9-8 before finally losing a game. And a strikeout, big swing rather.
Yeah, pretty dirty right here. He throws that breaking ball more of a straight down and able to throw it right on the outside corner. Really tough pitch to handle. But if you notice, he fought through that whole at bat right there with his off speed. Not feeling that fastball location right now. We'll see if he gets back against Vasquez.
Second strikeout for Baum against the 2 walks that are on base right now. Bailey at second, McDonough at first. As Vasquez Takes a big rip at the first pitch he sees from Tyler Baum.
Yep, and he gets that fastball over the plate, pretty much over the heart of the plate right there. Good pitch for Vasquez to do something with, but Baum has really good velocity, and the ball kind of jumps out of his hand. A lot of the hitters have a little trouble picking it up.
0-1 pitch, fouled back. Tyler set a career high of 12 strikeouts against South Florida back in late February. Wearing number 23. Pretty famous number around these parts. Vasquez hitting .234, 302 with runners in scoring position. He's got Bailey standing out there at second base.
And you can see he's choked up on that bat, looking to put the ball in play somewhere. A little two-strike approach.
Big strikeout of Debo after the first 2 walks. Vasquez drives this one out to center field, not deep enough to do anything with it. So as good as a strikeout after those 2 walks and now 2 outs. NC State pressing here a little bit.
Well, they just got away from the top of the order. And you get towards the bottom, I think if I had to give the edge to either team, offensively I give it to UNC just because the lower part of their lineup stays dangerous. But you never know, they can surprise you in a hurry.
This is Lawson MacArthur, the right fielder.
It's a tight zone today, for sure. You're not going to get all the pitches. That looked pretty good, too. And he's been both ways with that.
You are so right. Another close one, and Baum needs a little extra time to think about those last 2 calls. Now 2-0. Walked the first 2. A strikeout and an easy pop out to Harrison center fielder. Now the number 8 hitter, MacArthur, will foul it back.
And right there, he's just challenging MacArthur. Trying to make sure he doesn't have a third walk in this inning.
Number 9 hitter Cooper on deck, and then back to Butler and Wilson at the top here.
And if you're Lawson MacArthur right now, you got to look for good fastball over the plate and do damage.
Dribbler foul.
Just even when you get what you want from Tyler Baum, it's still not the easiest thing in the world to hit. He's got a good fastball. He's got some late action on it.
NC State comes into this game hitting .282, North Carolina .274. NC State's opponents hitting .254, North Carolina's opponents hitting .249. NC State 7.64 runs per game, North Carolina 7.46. Both teams averaging 9 hits per game. They clearly looking in the mirror here in this one. That's why it's such an important series. So many implications on the line. We showed you those ACC standings. 4 teams at 16 and 11 in the ACC. It could be just a pendulum of emotion this weekend here in Chapel Hill.
And the whole game could swing on a walk, on a base hit. Just don't know. Makes it fun baseball. Talking to Ike Freeman before the game, he was, wow. Big
Third strikeout of the game for Tyler Baum, and just 2 after 1.5. It's North Carolina 2-0 over the Wolfpack. Paul, Michael Jackson couldn't say any better when you look at these 2 starting pitchers.
Yeah, we talked about it being tight between the teams. Well, look at the starting Friday night pitchers. I mean, 64, 67, 66, 70, and just look at the numbers. They're so tight. Baum has a little bit of the edge on the strikeouts. And if you look at the batting average against, Jason Parker's at like 270 coming into the game, and Tyler Baum was 267. And I think that's kind of interesting because it tells you both pitchers go after the hitters. They're aggressive. So they're going to give up some hits, but they're going to go right after them, and that's what you need out of those guys. Come in there and be aggressive.
All right, Paul Shuey talked about the bottom of the order for both teams, and he's right. McGee hitting 273, Martirano hitting 282 at that 7-8 spot for Mike Fox and the Tar Heels. It'll be McGee, Martirano, and Roberts, the freshman, getting the start at the number 9 before the Tar Heels turn it back over against Jason Parker, the junior. 2-run home run by the freshman Aaron Sabato. The difference in the game so far. His 13th home run to lead all players for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and Ashton right here. I've seen it twice already. Saw Michael Bush and Ashton McGee both asked for time. Jason Parker likes to work quickly, just like Tyler Baum. And both guys asking for time so they can get ready in the box to be able to hit the ball.
David Savage, the umpire behind the plate. Tight strike zone so far. Derek Malika at first, Kevin Sweeney at second, Greg Howard at third.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say, Savage has been tight, but he's been tight to both sides. So consistency is the number one key. Sometimes as a pitcher you hate not getting the pitches, but if neither team is getting them, then you have to play within the rules of the day, so to speak.
Under it is Butler, and 1 up, 1 down. So that'll bring up the catcher, Brandon Martirano. He took another ball off that left elbow shoe on Tuesday, like just popped it square in the elbow. He was down for quite some time. Tough kid, though. Stayed in the game.
Catcher, right?
Jersey tough, right? Marlboro, New Jersey.
Now he's got to wear he called it the Barry Bonds guard over there on his elbow. I'm like, whatever it takes. But he's been hit there 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Tar Heels so good here at the Bosch in Chapel Hill as Martirano falls behind quickly 0-2.
And Parker looks like he's starting to settle in a little bit. Fastball seems to be popping a little bit more. He's starting to hit his location. Maybe getting a little feel for the umpire.
High and tight on Martirano.
But I like it. Jason Parker has thrown a couple two-seamers around 87 and then runs that one up at 92.
Takes a look at strike 3 in on the inside corner. You wonder if Brandon will have a conversation with Mr. Savage when he gets back out there.
Yep. You talked about not getting the calls, but if you look at this, Parker hits the mitt, right? Catcher sets up, puts the target up, and he hits the mitt. It might have been an inch or two off, but those calls you're probably going to get. When you miss your spot across the plate, then those are the calls a lot of times you don't get.
So a quick 2 outs here for Parker, who is settled in.
Yeah, he's looking good right now. Catcher's mitt's popping, and it is not moving much.
So here's Caleb Roberts getting the start tonight in right field. Had plenty of at-bats, 129 at-bats, 28 hits, 21 runs, 6 doubles, no home runs, does have 16 RBI. And Parker dealing here. There's no 2-run home run off the wall this time. It's still just 2-0 through 2 in Chapel Hill. Packed house at the Boston. Everybody having a good time, including a sack race. Down goes one, down goes the other.
A little sniper right there.
A little celebration time. That's a little flair right there. I would never do anything like that.
If you did, you turn around and wave your number 1 finger at me. Make sure I knew who won.
0-1 here to Dylan Cooper. It's number 9 hitter for Coach Avent and NC State in the top of the order. We're in the top of the third, 2-0 North Carolina on top. 6 p.m. tonight, 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then a special 4:30 Saturday edition on ESPNU. So glad you're with us. Alongside former Tar Heel pitcher Paul Shuey, Dean Linke. It'll be Cooper, then the top of the order, Butler and Wilson. Bouncing it up there.
Might have overthrown that breaking ball a touch right there. Not sure if it made it to the dirt. But it was going to be nasty.
Tyler Baum, a junior from the state of Florida. With the 3 strikeouts so far, now 76 strikeouts on the season. He's got 2 walks. He doesn't walk a ton of players, 22 walks on the season. Picked up over there at third base where Chris Hart, associate head coach, recruiting coordinator, and third base coach now in his 15th season. So 15 of the 23 years Coach Elliott Avent has been here. Coach Hart has been with him.
Yeah, he's done a nice job being able to recruit some of this talent they've got out there. Obviously, the start of their season, they've been all the way up to, I think, number 2 or number 3 in the country this year. You can hear the fans a little bit starting to get on the home umpire. Wow.
Strikeout number 4 for Tyler Baum as down goes Cooper.
Just a little old country hardball right here. Coming right down the center of the plate with it. Challenge pitch. He's got a good fastball going today. He's hit location pretty well, but one of the things when you're throwing out there and you throw what you feel is a strike and you don't get it, it makes it a little tough on you because then all of a sudden you're not real sure where to put the ball. When you start aiming a bit instead of letting it go.
Johnny Butler knew where to put it his first time up. Base hit out to left field to move his average up to 264. Got 14 extra base hits. Walk to strikeout ratio 39-39.
Well, Johnny Butler, another guy who gets on base a lot with a 381 on base percentage. I think both teams are not very focused on stealing bases and using the running game too much. They let the power bats do a lot of the damage and make sure they don't run themselves out of innings.
Fouled away by Butler. Last weekend, North Carolina State collecting their 6th ACC series win. And Paul, including non-conference opponents, the Wolfpack have won 9 series this year.
Yeah, they're a force. And with so much riding on this game and this series, really, I just really wonder how it'll play out if State were to take 2 out of 3 here. Do they then get the ability to host? I mean, it's a big question. Probably.
I think it's that close.
Yeah.
The last information was North Carolina right around that 15-16, and NC State either going to East Carolina or out to Vegas. That could easily flip-flop as it's popped foul.
Yeah, I think the slowest fastball I've seen Tyler throw today is 93. He's been 93 to 96 on everything. Seems like he's pretty much pitching 94, 95. I mean, it's basically you're looking at a big league pitcher out there firing right now. He's got that kind of stuff.
It's full count here to Butler. Butler with the only hit so far for NC State, and Martirano drops the 3rd strike, takes his time, tosses it over to Sabato, and got make sure you catch that strike 3.
And watch this. This is actually a really nice job by Martirano. He is not going to move that glove off of the strike zone to catch it. So he sits there, and it looks bad, but he made sure the glove stayed within the zone.
That's going to bring up Will Wilson, who hit into the double play after the base hit from Butler. And only a superstar pitcher would point that out so effectively. You are so right. He did not move his glove right there, and then just casually walked over, picked up the ball, and threw it down to Sabato.
Just wanted to make sure he got that called strike. And those shadows that are going across the field right now could have some effect. Will Wilson took a fairly bad hack at that first breaking ball off Tyler Baum. That and the fact that Baum's throwing really hard.
So after that happened, you could see David Savage and Martirano just having a little bit of conversation. Do you think Savage is saying you need to squeeze that young man just to make sure, or
probably that, making sure he's all right more than anything?
Great piece of hitting here by Will Wilson, who will be playing next level baseball, as we told you off the top. How about that base hit?
Yeah, gets a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and just drills it to right field. Just a really good piece of hitting right here. Stays back. And he does a nice job of punishing mistakes. If you miss out over the plate, he rips it. 15 home runs. He's punished a lot of mistakes so far this year.
You know it, the junior from Kings Mountain, North Carolina, standing at first base, as it'll bring up Evan Edwards, who struck out looking to end the first inning.
Takes that fastball down and in for a strike. Usually that's a dangerous pitch to a left-handed hitter.
Edwards with a whole lot of power. That's also going to be a base hit and should advance Wilson all the way to third base. So with runners at the corners here, NC State knocking on the door in the top of the third with 2 outs.
But so key right now to be able to go through number 2 and number 3. NC State's probably their best hitters with 2 outs. So you give up those 2 base hits, but you haven't had any damage given up yet as far as runs.
So that's going to bring up Patrick Bailey, the catcher, who was one of 2 walks given up by Baum just an inning ago. Ooh.
All right, so that's another miss. That's a breaking ball. Pretty much, let's look at this. Let's see if it's his. That's pretty much, that's a dead strike right down the middle.
So 1-0 and hit hard. That's going to score a run. Wilson will score on the RBI from the catcher Bailey. And NC State has cut the North Carolina lead in half. It's 2-1.
Yep, NC State responds as we knew they probably would. And that's a pretty good fastball sinking right on the outside corner. But really, you just had a breaking ball that was right down the middle, called for a ball, and then you come back with a 2-seamer and maybe you catch a little more plate than you would have, and it changes the count into a 1-0 count. These calls going back and forth right there, they matter a lot right now. And in this series, it could be a big, big deal.
Huge. Inside out of Tyler McDonough, who also walked his first time up. So NC State with 2 outs. An RBI from the catcher Bailey. And they've cut the lead in half. 2-1, North Carolina on top. And McDonough's got Edwards standing at second base. McDonough hitting .350 on the season with runners in scoring position, and that's exactly where Edwards is, in scoring position.
Yeah, there's just some guys that feel really good hitting with guys in scoring position, and McDonough obviously one of those guys.
43 RBI on the season for number 13, the center fielder.
See if he comes with a fastball right here or goes with the changeup away.
Edwards at second, Bailey at first. McDonough. Wow.
Yep, you said it. It's let's see if it's low. Borderline low.
Yep. Good
Borderline
call.
low.
3-1.
There's that
Right
changeup.
back with a strike.
Yep. Nice hitters count. That's a next level pitch right there. That 3-1 count. Up at that big league level, if you sit there and throw a 3-1 fastball and give in to the hitter, it's going to get hit hard.
So at full count, the shift is on here with 2 outs. Drop that one down to 76 as well.
Yeah, tried to throw a breaking ball for a strike. Actually hung it a little bit, but I think he got away with it because of the speed. McDonough just so far out ahead of it. You can see right here, look at the follow through. Martirano's just flat out banged up. He's getting hit everywhere.
Big pitch here, full count, 2 outs, right back up the middle. Edwards is going to come around to tie it. An RBI for McDonough. Sliding into third base is Bailey. McDonough at first, and we're tied at 2 in Chapel Hill.
And McDonough got it done, got a fastball and drove it right up the middle. And was able to beat the shift right here. Look at where this ball goes. Probably a tough play for the shortstop, even if he's in normal position. But NC State does a nice job, and here we go. We're pretty much back to 0-0. 2-2 game.
Both runs coming with 2 outs against Tyler Baum. 4 straight singles for the Wolfpack, and that will draw a visit to the mound from the North Carolina pitching coach.
Yep, Coach Woodard going to come out and just make sure Tyler has a good plan of attack against Mr. Debo. Settle him down a little bit. Had 2 outs and the meat of the lineup coming up, and NC State able to rally up and pick up 2 runs. And he struggled, Tyler Baum struggled a little bit to get that third out once in a while. I think part of that is working so fast. He likes to work quickly. And sometimes you can not have as great a plan when you work too quickly.
So Coach Woodard in his 3rd season heads back to the dugout. First thing he did was tap Baum on the shoulder. Bailey at third. McDonough, who has the 2nd RBI for NC State, standing at first. And that brings up the DH, Brad Debo, who struck out his first time. And once again, the first pitch strike.
Yep, got the swing right there. Against Bailey, did not get the call.
First pitch just 73 miles per hour. Hit hard and off of McGee, and that'll make it 3-2 as coming home to score is Bailey. And sliding into third aggressively is McDonough. Debo standing at first base. I think that'll be ruled an error. But either way, NC State doing all of this with 2 outs, and they lead it 3-2.
Yep, and I had a feeling this game's going to come down to defense. And this ball right here, yep, just not fielded cleanly right there. Probably should have been. Ashton McGee he's played third base, he's played left field, right field, everywhere, but tough play right there. And NC State doing a nice job. And now Tyler Baum all the way up to 71 pitches. So we talked about UNC working Jason Parker. Well, Tyler Baum is getting worked as well.
Most of those pitches coming here in the 3rd. with 2 outs, 4 singles, and an error. And after that out, NC State plates 3 in the top of the third, 3 runs on 6 hits. They lead North Carolina by 1 through 2.5. Welcome to the Bosch, where it's Adam Warren bobblehead day. Warren, who was 22-2 from 2006 to 2008 as a right-handed pitcher for the Tar Heels. You get a bobblehead, you're legit, in my opinion, as it'll be the top of the order here for the Tar Heels in the bottom of the third, with NC State, the Wolfpack, leading the Tar Heels by 1, 3-2, after getting 3 runs in the top of this inning.
Well, and Jason Parker, when he finished off the second inning, looked incredible, hitting all his spots, dynamite stuff. We'll see if he's able to carry that into the third inning after a fairly long side for NC State.
Out in front, 1-2 to Dylan Harris, who had a 9-pitch at bat his first time up before Bush walked, and then Sabato with the moonshot. Harris high in the air. You hear center fielder McDonough loud and proud calling that one, and it's 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah, Jason Parker able to get in on Dylan Harris right there. Really playing with fire on that inside corner, that down and in, but able to get it just in off the plate, and Dylan not able to get the bat cleared. Nice pitch.
So here's Michael Bush, who extended his on-base streak to 26 consecutive games, career high with that walk his first time up.
Yeah, he just always seems to be on base. And well on his way in this at-bat. 2-0 pretty quick, even though the first pitch looked pretty close.
Bush tied for first in the ACC, run scored 62 now. In fact, that may have pushed him ahead as he was on base when Sabato sent that one flying. So 62 runs for Bush. Third in the ACC in RBIs. During the ACC, he's got 32 RBIs. So 32 of his 49 RBI have come against ACC opponents. 3-1 to Bush. Boy, Bush knew he was going to see a little dream weaver, and he took a big old swing at it.
Look where that second baseman is right now. It's like the super shift on over there. Yeah, Jason Parker not afraid to go inside on these hitters. It's been impressive. Against a guy like Michael Bush, he's been able to get in off the plate and not miss out over.
Count is full. And Bush, 54th walk of the season for Bush. And that's got to make scouts salivate as well with that kind of patience at the plate.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. He's hitting for a pretty good average there at 282, but the ability to drive in the runs and to hit for power and then take his walks, just the way the game's played right now.
Yeah, you mentioned power. Aaron Sabato.
Wow.
Yeah, we need you to find those numbers again on that rocket shot.
Oh, I still got him. 110 off the bat. He, like I said, he pretty much averages 110 miles per hour off the bat.
If you get a base hit here, it'll be 8 straight games with 2 or more hits in the same game. Good pitch, though, from Parker. Inside pitch. Sabato. Body language tells you what he thinks of that call.
You can see right here that ball right there on the edge, you know. Just one of those pitches you're going to get if the catcher doesn't move, and the catcher doing a nice job of setting up and getting it.
Way out in front, Sabato.
If you're in the stands, you better watch out.
Here's that Home run in the first inning. Watch this one go, Shu.
That is a pretty good breaking ball, too. It's not like it's a bad pitch, but it just looks that much worse when it hits off the center field wall at 421 feet.
And then bashing with Bush when he crosses home plate. Pretty good celebration as they throw back to keep an eye on Bush. Bush 4 for 9 stolen base attempts. The 1-2, 1-out pitch from Jason Parker.
Jason Parker, you got to feel a little funny about firing another breaking ball in there. Yeah, you're going to stay with the heater a little bit more maybe. Stay inside. Don't let Sabato extend his hands. Even when he hit that foul ball, he couldn't keep it fair because Parker able to get that ball in there enough.
Now 2-2. Bush act like he was going. Sabato with another 2-hit performance. Bush going to cruise over to third, and Sabato with a home run and a single. 8 straight games with 2 or more hits for Aaron Sabato, the big bashing freshman for the Tar Heels.
And we talked about it. He punished his mistakes. That is a breaking ball that just hangs up there, and golly, he just mashes it. It's the kind of thing, too, where when he hits it, if it's 6 feet to the left or the right of the infielder or the outfielder, I mean, good luck. You can't get there in time. Ball's hit too hard.
So back-to-back freshmen here in the batting order for Coach Fox, Sabato and Serretti. Serretti, who followed up that home run with a base hit. He's 1 for 1. He's got his average up to 298. And he's hitting 288 with runners in scoring position. He's got Bush standing at third base. So now North Carolina had a visit to the mound to see Tyler Baum, and now NC State will have a visit to talk to number 27, Jason Parker.
Yep. Both pitchers just struggling a little bit. Really, after they've looked very good and in rhythm. But the offenses of both teams causing enough trouble to where it's been difficult. You got Clint Chrysler out there having the chat with Parker, trying to just get him settled down and get the outs one by one. You got to really focus on each pitch. Make sure you have a plan for it, then try to execute it.
Clint Chrysler, first season, pitching coach for NC State, joined on Elliott Avent's staff by Chris Hart, 15 seasons. Austin Morgan, first base coach in his second season. Danny Serretti, the count 1-0. Now it's 2-0. Runners at the corners, Bush at third, Sabato with his second hit of the game, standing at first. Serretti with 38 RBI. Anything deep can make it 39 here with just 1 out.
And I've been so impressed with Jason Parker so far with that pitch right there. He's still able to throw the inside fastball and get him called for strikes. You just don't see that much in the college game anymore. It just seems to be more off speed, away. Even in the major league level, I see more and more away, and off speed. But if you can throw that fastball inside, guys just aren't ready for it most of the time.
The batter's count right here, Paul, 3-1 with 1 out. You got to think Serretti is ready to pounce. Let's see what Parker brings. That is not going to work.
Nope, and Jason Parker that much closer to getting out of this. Another good fastball. Maybe not right on the inside corner, but inner third. And just ties Serretti up. He couldn't get the bat head out in time. Good pitch by Jason Parker.
That'll bring up Ike Freeman, who had been your regular shortstop for several seasons, sliding over to third base. As Matt Krause told us on Tuesday, the shortstop of the future is the shortstop of the present in Soretti. So Freeman sliding over to third.
Yeah, and he's been fantastic over at shortstop. But because of a need for the team, he moved over to third base. He's done pretty well there.
That one went off of the foot of Freeman.
Looked like it hurt pretty bad. I think he, see right here, right off the guard there. But he hit it, barreled it right off the guard. Takes a second, walks it off. But another example right there is Jason Parker getting inside with that fastball.
Ends up being a first pitch strike. That is the key to the kingdom. Trying to get out of a jam. And I think he's going to do it. Tar Heels are going to leave a couple stranded. Parker works out of the jam through 3. It's NC State 3, North Carolina 2 in Chapel Hill. Son, you want to go to the ball game? You know I do. What a great way to spend some quality family time. Red or blue, doesn't matter the color. It's a big series here in Chapel Hill. Number 14, NC State. Number 15, North Carolina. First pitch to Lawson MacArthur, top of the 4th from Baum through 3 innings. NC State coming from behind with 3 the last inning to take a 1-run lead.
Yeah, and Tyler, we looked at it last inning, that pitch count climbing pretty hard. He had to really fight to get through that 3rd inning. NC State doing a nice job. That's a big-time pop-up right there.
Yeah, it is. Long time up there. Well said, Shu. Soretti's under it. Yeah, they had a little extra rocket fuel as it got high in. It just kept climbing. Took a while to come back down to earth.
Call it the big league pop-up.
So here's your number 9 hitter, Dylan Cooper, who struck out his first time up. First pitch attacking right now, NC State with that 1-run lead.
Yeah, you can tell NC State's getting more comfortable at the plate and taking some good swings off Tyler Baum.
Okay, so Tyler Baum, pitch count, I think it's around 78. What's the number they're keeping an eye on?
Personally, just me kind of guessing with the history of how they've used him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him, if he's being effective, go 110, maybe even 120. It's just such a big-time game. It's that part of the season where you just have to win.
Another strikeout for Baum, and he knew it. 6 Ks for Tyler Baum, and we're just through 3 1/3.
Yeah, you can see right here, he's just, that breaking ball's so slow after that fastball. Just so hard to stay back. See right there.
All right, here's the killer, top of the order for NC State. NC State, 3 runs scored, Paul, with 2 outs, 4 singles, and then the error on McGee. Pushed across what is now the leading run here, and that is ripped foul by Butler.
Yep, just got that fastball in enough, but Butler all over it. Just could not keep it fair. Yeah, when Tyler's mixing his speeds up, he's really tough on the hitters. You could tell that by Dylan Cooper's swing that last at bat.
It's going to be tough play. Baum! Way to field his position. Gets a strikeout, gets off the mound, picks it up. One hand, smokes it over to Sabato. And the Tar Heels coming to bat with Hesterly, McGee, and Martirano. Be a VIP at the 2019 ACC Baseball Championship, May 21st through the 26th. Enter for your chance to win today at theacc.com/baseball. VIP team still jockeying for positions at the ACC tournament, including these two teams, NC State and North Carolina, 16 and 11 in the ACC as they start a 3-game series here tonight. Chapel Hill on ACC Network Extra alongside former Tar Heel great Paul Shuey. Dean Linke delighted to be with you as we go to the bottom of the fourth. North Carolina got 2 runs in the first inning. A long home run from Sabato, his team high 13th of the season. And NC State comes back with 3 runs with 2 outs in the top of the third. NC State 3 runs on 6 hits. North Carolina 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 error as Jackson Hesterly takes a look at 3 straight balls here to start the bottom of the fourth.
And you can see Jason Parker trying to establish that fastball inside, but just missing a little bit off the plate. Misses 4 straight.
All right, Paul. I'm not going to ask you to solve this puzzle here, but we're going to take a look at it anyway. So much on the line, so much postseason implications. If it ended right now, go ahead and jumble those shells around. As you see, North Carolina would be the 3 seed, or the 4 seed, NC State the 3 seed, of course Louisville the 1 seed, and it's just a whole lot of jambalaya jumbleness in there.
It is, and I just look at the different teams that are on that chart right there, and there's some great teams all the way across the board. When we saw Miami earlier, they had some real horsepower as well, so there's no telling what's going to happen. I just know that this game, tomorrow's game, all 3 of these games coming up in this series are so important. The ability to host a regional is crucial, especially
Absolutely.
when you win at home, when you have that home field advantage. It's definitely a big deal.
A lot of eyes on the Bosch this weekend across the ACC and across the country. For sure, as it's 1-1 here to McGee. McGee flew out to left field his first time up, 0 for 1, hitting .272.
And you can see Parker right there, just missing off the inside corner and trying to get that inside established with that fastball.
This one will get by the catcher, but not far enough for Hesterly with that leadoff walk to think about taking off. Hesterly has not attempted a stolen base this season.
Yep, and if he was going to go, that was probably the right opportunity.
2-1 count to McGee. Does have 4 home runs on the season. And he's hit a few. You talk about getting out of here quickly. He can hit some line drive lasers.
Yeah, Ashton definitely can, and he's so good going the other direction. Able to go to the opposite field and really drive the ball well. That gap around 370. Seen him put a lot of balls over there over his time here. He just works the count so well.
Count is 2-2. Fouled off. Yeah, Paul, on Tuesday against High Point, after that easy triple for Hesterly, McGee went down the left field line for the RBI. So a bit untraditional RBI with the runner at third, but it worked because it was smoked out to left field for a base hit.
Well, he's a pretty big guy, and sometimes when he's swinging, you feel like he's gonna pull it, but you can see just like the infield right now, they're playing him straight up. He can hit it anywhere.
Takes a look at strike 3, and Parker now's got 4 strikeouts.
And he knew it right here. If you look at where this fastball starts, it starts on the inside corner and runs all the way off right to the outside. Nice bit of run on that, going to the 2-seamer.
So that'll bring up the catcher, Brandon Martirano. If you remember his first time up, it was an inside pitch, and Obviously, Martirano behind the plate had a pretty good idea of what was being called a strike and what wasn't. And if you remember earlier in the game, those pitches weren't being called strikes.
No, and he had it called against him. I'm sure he had a little chat with Mr. Savage when he got back out there. One thing you never like facing catchers. I always felt like they got a little preferential treatment out there. And understandably so if you're the home umpire and you got to have them right in front of you the whole time.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Paul Shuey up in Cleveland this weekend, celebrating Mr. Barker's perfect game for the Cleveland Indians. That had to be a pretty good time.
Yeah, really neat. They had the video clips from it, and you could tell how nervous he was going through it for such a big guy, and in that situation, it was neat to see him talk his way through that in front of the audience. It was a pretty incredible moment. I thought it was hilarious. Rick White actually missed it. He was sick that day, and it was interesting hearing him talk about it. He actually ran over to the stadium so he could watch the last 2 outs.
All right. 3-1. Parker comes back on Martirano to make the count full.
It's a big-time pitch right there. Instead of giving in with a good fastball on that hitter's count, comes back with a breaking ball that would have been a strike anyway.
So full count with 1 out. Hesterly still at first base with that leadoff walk, and despite the fact that he's never attempted a stolen base, Parker keeping an eye on him.
Sometimes those are the best guys to pick over on because they're not used to having to dive back.
That'll roll. The human rain delay. Mike Hargrove, I understand, was in Cleveland as well.
Yeah, that was the funny thing. They had the video clip of him, but they never had him swinging a bat. They just had him getting ready to hit. And it took hours.
Full count, 1 out. Strikeout number 5 for Jason Parker.
He's just doing such a nice job of throwing these. Just take a look at this fastball where it goes. Looks like the catcher's actually set up away. But Parker misses perfectly up and in a little bit, and Martirano can't lay off that pitch.
So that'll bring up the freshman from Coral Springs, Florida, Caleb Roberts.
Yeah, that looked a little off the plate right there.
Okay, Paul, talk about adjustments. We're seeing it. You got the human factor right. David Savage, solid umpire. Strike zone a little thin to start. Getting little carbs on it here as we work on in this game.
Yeah, just like most of the time, the more you're able to hit your spots, the more you get the calls. And Jason Parker able to do that. He's been around the zone, been able to establish some fastballs inside, but I will say Savage hasn't really given him anything extra off the plate too much. But usually for the pitchers, they're used to getting maybe an inch or two off of the plate. And it's been a tight zone today.
1-2, 2 outs. After the leadoff walk given up by Parker, he has come back strong. Roberts hoping to turn it over to the top of the order and try to do what NC State did back in the third, and they got all 3 runs with 2 outs.
Yeah, that pitch right there, Parker able to get inside on Caleb, but it looked like he was almost trying to beat the shift and inside out that ball. You got all that space over towards third base. It's wide open.
Woo.
Ball was a little bit up. But one of those situations where tough to lay off for Caleb Roberts. Really good pitch from Parker.
Hit hard by Roberts. But the right fielder had a beat on it. MacArthur had it the entire way. And through 4, NC State on top of North Carolina by 1 at the Bosch. So with a lot on the line this weekend, Paul Schuh, you've talked a lot about what it would mean to host a regional. North Carolina so good at the Bosch, 10 of their last 11 in the ACC, 30-4 on the season here in Chapel Hill. Wilson, first pitch, Soretti all over. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Nice job by Soretti right there. I think right off the bat he didn't know what to do. Tough one to kind of pick up. Look at this swing. Sits there and reads it, and you don't know whether you need to short hop that or grab it, and he kind of backhands it. Makes it work.
So that'll bring up Edwards, who had a base hit and came around to score in that 3-run third inning.
And the one thing I've seen so far from Will Wilson, if you get it over the plate, he's gonna take a good hack at it.
With 1 out in front of Edwards, 0-2. Martirano moved way outside and Baum hit the target.
Take a look at this shift right here. For Evan Edwards, you got everybody pushed over. A lot of space over there towards third base, but I believe Evan Edwards and the 13 home runs are looking for one thing. Yep, from that swing, I'd say that's exactly he's looking to hit it somewhere on the field hockey field with that swing. Yeah, you tell me, Dean, is that a base hit swing?
He was not looking to left field, Paul.
He wasn't going to try to inside out that.
I will say, and you nailed it as you always do with that scouting report, that athletic play that Baum had to end the last inning. When you roll the shift, knowing that a player could decide to just lay one down, Baum is a pretty good eliminator of that play.
He shores it up pretty good over there. Yeah, and I really feel like when I'm watching him out there, he's almost begging somebody to let him play, right? You know, if you bunt on him, you do something, then you just you give him a chance to go show off a little bit what he can do. Like I said, I've seen him out there run around in the outfield and throwing a football. It looks like he can do just about anything. Just a great athlete. Maybe a little jealous, too.
Yeah, he makes some things look easy. Well said.
He certainly does.
So Edwards with that base hit has his batting average up to .333, and as we told you before, all kinds of power. 40 extra base hits, 30 extra base hits rather, as this one's hit high and foul. 15 doubles, 2 triples, and 13 home runs. 54 RBI and 56 runs for Evan Edwards.
Yeah, there's 54 RBIs. The thing that's so impressive to me, I don't care what you're hitting, what you're doing. If you're getting those key hits with runners on base, that's what's helping your team win. I think this day and age, a lot of guys get caught up in looking at all the numbers, and that's usually my first number I'll look at because that's the value to the team.
Edwards, a junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. He and JT Jarrett couple of players from Greensboro, as well as the catcher Patrick Bailey.
And Edwards putting together a good at-bat right here. I've always felt the longer the at-bat goes, the advantage goes more and more to the hitter. Just get an eye at all your stuff.
The shift on. No problem for McGee this time, over to Sabato.
Yeah, nice play for McGee. Really had a little more time to get set. That last ball that he had trouble with, really a bullet off the bat, and just not able to get in position in time.
So here is another one of those Greensboro, North Carolina players, Patrick Bailey. Good day so far. Walked in the second. Base hit, RBI, and a run in the third. And another base hit for Patrick Bailey.
Nice rip. He's looked really good today. Had some good at-bats. Got an invite to play for the USA team. See right there, he gets that fastball middle in and drives that base hit right through the hole.
2-out tough NC State. 5 of their 6 hits have come with 2 outs, all singles. And part of the reason they've been able to come from behind to have a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 5th.
And Bailey single right there. 110 miles per hour on TrackMan. So he's got some bat speed. Ball's coming off good.
Good season for Tyler McDonough. Freshman from Liberty Township, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Went to Moeller High School. Pretty good athletes out of Moeller High School. Some phenomenal football players for sure. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, throw back to Sabato to keep an eye on Bailey.
And Tyler Baum already at 99 pitches. Kind of like that 100-pitch magical mark where everybody starts to get concerned.
Bullpen is busy right now for the Tar Heels. McGee takes his time with this one. And the 2-out single left stranded through 4 1/2. The Wolfpack on top of North Carolina 3-2. Paul, as a pitcher, you've heard pitching wins championships. I've heard defense wins championships. Look at this Wolfpack defense led by their first baseman, Evan Edwards. Not only does he have no errors, but he leads the league in putouts and second in total chances. That's phenomenal. It's not like he's got a small sample size over there.
No, that's a big deal. And Tyler McDonough and him without any errors this year, that's solid across the board.
Top of the order here for the Tar Heels in the bottom of the 5th. They hung 2 on Parker in that first inning, a 2-run home run by Sabato. Since then, Parker has been tight, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's really done a nice job. I really, more than anything else, what I like is the fact that he's able to establish the inside fastball, hitting that part of the plate. He's thrown all his pitches for strikes, but more than anything else, he's established that fastball and limited the damage, other than one really pretty good curveball to Sabato that, Sabato's just a problem for everybody right now.
Harris keeps this one on the ground after his first 2 times up, popping it out to left and center. Vasquez over to Edwards. 1 up, 1 down for North Carolina here in the bottom of the 5th.
See right there, nice play by Vasquez. Looked pretty smooth over there. That NC State defense that we talked about. Such a big deal, I think, especially at the college level. Seems like a error almost takes extra weight here.
Bush, first pitch swinging after a couple walks, was ready, Paul, to take a rip at Parker.
Yeah, definitely took a hard swing right there, and looked like a fan made a very poor play right there. If you're going to deal with the pain in your hands, you might as well catch the ball, right, Dean?
Well, let's just say this. The fan is no Edwards over at first base. Boy, Bush, just phenomenal eye. Like, there's not too many players laying off of that pitch right there.
No, he's just dangerous. And when he gets his pitch, that one right there, that's a dirty changeup. It's really tough. As a pitcher, it's totally disheartening to have a hitter like him taking that pitch. Wow.
Bush, high in the air, back on the edge of the warning track, and just a long out deep part of Boshemer Stadium, and McDonough with the long second out.
Yep, a good job by Parker to go ahead and challenge right there. It looked like Bush jumped on that pretty good, but only able to hit it 398 feet. Still pretty good, just wrong part of the park. Now, if you're NC State, you got to be excited about the fact that you got Aaron Sabato with nobody on base.
You talk about one of the hottest players in the country, is they call that one a strike. Past 11 games, now over 500, Paul. Fourth home run coming in this one. And against a Pitt team that you would have thought North Carolina would have been able to handle. They only won one, but Sabato still was named ACC Player of the Week.
Yeah, he did his job. He crushed the ball. He actually played a very good defensive first base in that series as well. He's just a special talent. To be absolutely honest, I'm surprised he's playing college baseball right now and he's not in some minor league system quickly working his way through. He's just got so much power. It's rare to see what he has come in as a freshman.
So when you're not going to like this because it's going to be a tiger at the back end of it, but when he drops his hands and goes to opposite field with power, I'm thinking the young Miggy.
Yes.
And he'll rip this one right through the third baseman's head as Cooper ducks his head, and the third hit of the game, and he's a triple away from the cycle. Standing at second base, Aaron Sabato.
You just look at that. He got the fastball in, just absolutely puts a charge in it right down the third baseline. You can see right here. Look at him. We talked about that fastball not being able to keep it fair, and you caught it with Miggy. Keeps those hands in, able to get the bat head out through the zone and just explodes. And I said it earlier, he can hit the ball 2-3. I said at the time 5-6. That's only probably 4 feet away from the third baseman. You can't react in time. It's just too hard. He hits. It changes the game. That ball, if his bat was 109 miles per hour, I mean, it's just a different sound. I can be sitting up here when they're taking BP, and then I can know who's hitting without looking down.
And with that, Sabato standing at second base, a home run, a single, and a double for Sabato. And the Tar Heels trying to get something done with 2 outs here with fellow freshman Soretti, who's 1 for 2, has his batting average at .297 and hitting .284 with runners in scoring position. And, boy, you think back to that picture where we took with Elliott Avent and Mike Fox, and Avent joking about, hey, let's get Sabato over here and see if we can't take him out of this one. And he has not been able to do anything with Sabato. 3 for 3.
Yeah, he asked me, he's like, what do you do with Sabato? I'm like, probably just, you might be safer walking him. The problem is he's in scoring position when he steps into the box. We got Coach Avent going out there right now.
Yeah.
3-0 count. And in the game against Clemson, same situation. 4 2/3.
Nick Sweeney is up in the pen, though. As you said, the sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina. You really like him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. So in the game against Clemson, Jason Parker threw 4 2/3, was in a 3-1 count, and Coach Avant brought Nick Sweeney in, and Nick Sweeney threw 4 1/3 in that game and finished it off and got the win. And very similar situation right here.
New pitcher for NC State. We'll tell you all about him with the Wolfpack on top of North Carolina. Big game in Chapel Hill. You've been following the Wolfpack this season. You know about their tremendous start. You know that they got up to #1, and you also know they have a pretty good bullpen.
Yeah, Nick Sweeney, one of the big 4 lefties they have in that bullpen, and maybe the biggest guy right here. He's got a fastball, 89-91, and a plus breaking ball, really sharp. He can go obviously extended innings, going 4 1/3 in his last outing against Clemson.
He inherited that 3-0 count.
You look at his numbers. He's got, in 41 innings, he's got 69 strikeouts. Yeah. So with 2 outs, if you're Coach Avant, you got to feel like pretty confident. Jason Parker hoping that NC State can get out of here without giving up the damage. A couple runners on base. Sabato's been a problem all day for NC State. Just really seeing the ball well.
Tar Heel fans trying to pump up this Tar Heel team that had all kinds of life after that 2-0 lead, but they have trailed here for a couple innings now. Runners at first and second. Sabato at second. Soretti at first. And it's RB Ike Freeman with his 38 RBI. He was looking for 41 with that swing.
My goodness. Swinney just came in through a nasty breaking ball and then comes back with 93 right on the inside corner. That's tough. Yeah, he's been feeling really good. In his last 20 innings, he's got 4 wins and a save.
Freeman last at bat, if you remember, Paul, fouled one off the guard just above that front foot, and I think this one hit him again. Maybe off a bounce, but it still hit him.
Oh, the inside of the knee. He's getting it all right there. So it's the same leg. Some bruises. And right now, it just doesn't look like a normal uniform for Ike. It's awful clean.
Wow. Drop that one down to 79. Catcher, a little bit of trouble, cleans it up. It'll count as a strikeout for the reliever, Swinney. Out of a jam. 3-2 through 5, State. Shout out to the Tar Heel ground crew. They do such a great job keeping the Bosch so beautiful as we go to the top of the 6th inning with number 14 NC State on top. Tyler Baum still out there, Shu.
Yeah, he's actually pitched pretty well. Had 2 outs in the 1 trouble inning that he had. And then really the separator in this game right now is 1 error. 1 unearned run.
Shift is on already for the DH for NC State, who was able to pretty much gobble up McGee his last time up. He's 0 for 2, strikeout and reached on the air from McGee.
But we'll see how much room they give Tyler Baum, being at the 100 pitch number right now. He's certainly in really good shape. I don't think they're too worried about it, but I couldn't see him going too much further past this inning.
Shift on. Freeman deep in the hole. The stretch from Sabato.
What a play right there. Man, that was the Ike Freeman special. Because it's not the prettiest play in the world, but man, it was. The slide gets up, he just finds a way. I had just talked about the fact that I think that was the right call. Let's see. I don't know. That one might get turned around. What a play right there. He got that uniform dirty, didn't he?
He said he was gonna.
And really a good job by Sabato on the stretch, to keep his foot on the bag. It just looked like that foot may have beat the throw.
Debo really was automatic about saying he was good, and I think he might be right. He's safe.
Any other angles you have?
Yep. Looks like he was safe.
Yeah, show me that. Show us that one. That's fine.
So interesting. You watch all the guys run through the bag like that, and a lot of times you end up being safe on that. But a lot of times when they will try to dive into first and get there quicker, it actually slows you up. And now with the replay, used to be I thought you might get a little advantage because you're spraying so much dirt around when you slide in that maybe you can get away with something. Get a little extra something for the effort. But with the TVs and the great crew, let's see what they say. Oh,
wow.
Called him out.
Say out. How about that?
Huh. Let's see this one more time. What do you see, Dean?
Good stretch.
Oh, that angle looks a little different.
Yeah.
It's harder to overturn it there. I thought
Right.
the other angle I had him safe.
That is perfectly said, because it's got to be indisputable, and right there it wasn't.
That's it. Yeah. So when they looked at it, they probably saw that angle, and you can't overturn it. Great play by Ike Freeman. Get that first out of the inning, and Tyler Baum at this pitch limit, almost a necessary key out for him.
So a pinch hitter, it'll be the sophomore Tatum from Tennessee, went to Houston High School in Collierville. Hitting .220 on the season, couple home runs. So Tatum pinch hitting for the second baseman, David Vasquez. So Debo. And now a strikeout looking of Tatum, and Baum. Pretty solid top of the sixth inning here.
Yeah, dirty breaking ball right there. If you're Tatum, that's just not really fair to have to see that right when you come in. That's painted right on the outside corner. Because when you see that pitch, it starts outside the zone, but it comes all the way back in and drops right in. Kind of always used it more as a shock pitch on a lefty.
7 strikeouts. This one hit high in the air, but not quite as deep as even Roberts thought. Just a long out. Tar Heels coming to bat. We'll see who's going to be in there when we return. Bottom of the sixth at the Bosch, a key ACC series. Both teams at 16-11. North Carolina 2 in the first, NC State 3 in the top of the third. In relief, though, Nick Swinney stays in. New second baseman is JT Jarrett for NC State.
We got Dylan Inweiler up for UNC right now.
Going to see more of that with the left-handed Swinney in there. Coach Fox loading up the lineup against Parker with left-handed hitters. Now he'll switch to right-handed hitters, of course, against the lefty.
Yep, you lose the bat of Jackson Hesterly, but with Swinney's breaking ball, you do everything you can to try to take that away from him some, even though it's just so good. I think it's going to be pretty good against lefties and righties. Like that. That's just dirty. Got real good sharp break on it.
Enweiler, 279. 6 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs.
Yeah, the big thing with Dylan Inweiler is the fact that his speed just makes him so dangerous. He can hit a single into the gap, and that's a double right away for him. Whereas for most guys, it's you don't even think about something else.
Strikeout for Swinney, his second in relief for Elliott Avent and NC State.
You can see right here, Swinney had that good breaking ball and then comes back with that heater at 93. It's just a very potent combination, and he's gotten 2 outs since he's been in the game. They've both been strikeouts.
McGee. Stay in. It'll be lefty versus lefty. Final line on Parker Paul. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 22 batters faced.
Yeah, and I thought he looked very good. Just had the same problem that every other pitcher in the ACC's had lately, and that's Aaron Sabato. He's been an issue. But Parker able to hit his spots, especially inside with the fastball, and mixes other pitches in and really get through a chunk of the UNC lineup and keep his team in the ball game and with the lead.
Out in front again, Nick Swinney. Swinney, as Paul Shuey told you, the number's ridiculous. Now 41 2/3 inning pitch, 71 strikeouts against just 21 walks.
Yeah, it kind of makes you as a hitter go up there going, don't strike out, don't strike out, don't strike out. It just, he's got good stuff. You're not getting much to hit.
McGee. And on the hands, pops it up. The new second baseman, Jarrett, is there, and 2 up, 2 down for number 46, Nick Swinney.
Yeah, Ashton looked a little upset after this swing. Ball got in on him, and not overly excited about that. Good pitch by Swinney, though. Not letting Ashton get extended. He's been seeing the ball pretty well. And get another key out for NC State right there.
Here's the catcher, Brandon Martirano. That first pitch dropped down to 78.
We'll see what he does with Swinney. Swinney's just got that fastball just really jumps, and that breaking ball is so sharp. I put down there plus breaking ball, watching him strike out some other hitters, but seeing it in person is even better. It's hard to get a read on it. That ball's staying in the zone for a very long time. Really tough on a hitter to lay off of that.
Sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina, Nick Swinney. Cooper. Crow hop. Over to Edwards. Easy peasy for Swinney through 6, 3-2 NC State. Down the stretch we go. As we mentioned, it's a whole lot of jumbleness in the ACC standings as we take a look at the scores around the ACC.
Yeah, and that big score right there, Georgia Tech down 6-0 to Pitt. They're having trouble with Pitt just like UNC did last weekend. And that could be a big-time game. If Carolina is able to pull out a victory here in this tight ball game and Georgia Tech loses, then it would tie them up.
Shu, you've got your A game on. You said over 110 pitches for sure for Baum, so he's back out there at 106 pitches. He'll field his position. He wanted to take that out. Sabato took care of it, though. He was flying over to first.
Totally right? Anytime he gets a chance, he likes to sprint around and have some fun. He's got to be a mess playing basketball.
He just keeps on running.
I know, Sabato's just like, what are you doing, dude?
107 pitches and just flying around.
Yeah, he's having fun out there. He's got such good stuff. Really, the only time I see him get in trouble is just when he starts rushing a little bit. And it's just the smallest amount of difference.
O'Brien and Butler up in the North Carolina bullpen. Caden O'Brien, the lefty. Butler, the righty. And Baum gives up a one-out single to Johnny Butler, who is 2 for 4 on the day for NC State.
Yeah, he's got some key hits today. That first one to start off the game. Let's see what North Carolina decides to do right here.
All 7 of NC State's hits today, Paul, all singles. And as it is right now, that's all they need. 3 runs, 2 of them earned.
You got their big bopper right now, and Will Wilson sitting there at home plate. And so far watching him, he hasn't been overly patient. If he gets something out over the plate, he's going to take a grip at it. And you got to be excited. There's some Major League scouts watching today to be able to see all this talent that is out here for both teams.
Baum can do it all, right? He can do it all. Watch this move here. Ooh.
Yeah, that was close. Yeah, he's a big-time quick twitch guy. But he's a guy you can just see be good at every sport.
Down in the dirt, stopped by Martirano. Shoo, I know it's hard to remember exactly what you had for lunch these days, but you remember any big pickoff move in the majors where you got somebody, surprised someone?
One time, I think I picked off Jay Buhner with the inside move at second base, but that was really the only chance I had. Everything else was just straight eyewash.
When he was with Seattle or with the Yankees?
With Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to the Yankees after Seattle?
I think so, for a little bit, yeah. But he's spent a long time with Seattle, that's for sure. No, I was really excited to do that inside move and see the shocked expression on his face and see somebody where I could finally give the ball up to Omar quickly, and I knew an out would come.
Omar Vizquel, one of the best ever, right? What a glove.
Yeah, he's got to get some looks at that Hall of Fame. I mean, he's right up there with the very best that have ever played the game.
Will Wilson has once again throw it back over. Baum's going to try to get one. Ooh, tough bounce, and now you got to just go for one, and that's what Soretti does, as it looked like it was pretty much tailor-made there for potential 2.
Yeah, it doesn't get much prettier than that as far as a double play ball, and if you're Tyler Baum, you really need this play to be made. But that ball takes a funny hop at the last second, and Soretti does a nice job to get at least one out. Sometimes you can sit there and have that and panic a bit, start stabbing for the ball, and turn something that should be an easy play into a really tough one that can blow up on you. Looks like that'll be it for Tyler Baum. Really good, solid outing for him. Unfortunate to have the one unearned run, so he's behind in the game, but really as far as what he's done, he should be coming out in a 2-2 game.
Tyler Baum done after 6 2/3. His team down 1 against the Wolfpack. New pitcher when we return. New pitcher, North Carolina, Caden O'Brien, sophomore lefty, made in North Carolina.
Yeah, Caden O'Brien, such an important part of the UNC relieving staff. Had some great outings last year down the stretch, and just like this game right here, it's so important. If he can go out there and leave that NC State runner at second base, get his team in with a chance to come back, only down 1. You know, Swinney and NC State are going to be tough, but getting this out really important right now.
First pitch high to Bailey.
And Caden's got a fastball that ranges really 86 to 96, which sounds crazy, but seems to get hyped up quite a bit for big situations. He's got a breaking ball you saw right there.
Just to clarify, it's Evan Edwards, number 3. Bailey's on deck. Edwards 1 for 3, 332. Edwards, that perfect fielding percentage over there at first. Had that base hit in the third shoe and came around and scored.
Yeah, just a good, solid baseball player. And Caden not feeling that release point right now. Talked to Coach Woodard a little bit about it. And they talked about having made some adjustments to try to really lock in on a zone to start the pitches, especially the fastball.
Falling behind 3-0. Edwards taking all the way.
Yep, and in this situation, you look at Caden and just finding that release point to get that fastball over the plate is usually enough to kind of lock him back in.
So out of the bullpen, first base is open, so Edwards with the walk.
And you can see Austin Love in the background right there. And Hanson Butler. Looks like Hanson Butler's probably going to go in this game right now. Big moment for him.
Coach Fox back out there. Big long look into the bullpen. Takes the ball away from O'Brien. And with Bailey coming to bat, it'll be a new pitcher for North Carolina. Take a break. New pitcher for North Carolina yet again here in the top of the 7th. It's a redshirt senior, Hanson Butler from High Point, North Carolina.
Yeah, and Hanson Butler almost, I guess the right way to say it, a little bit hidden in the bullpen. He's always had a great arm. He had to recover from Tommy John surgery and was able to do it, but struggled a little bit throwing strikes. But able to come out. He had a kind of come out party in an outing against ECU with a packed house, and threw really well in that outing. Threw 3 innings and did very well, and really got the staff, the UNC staff, hopeful that he was going to be a big part. He's just got great stuff. He's 90 to 94 with his fastball. Got a 12-6 breaking ball that's really good. He's got a dirty changeup. So he's got 3+ pitches. It's just been a matter of whether he can get them over the plate.
All right, Shu. Caden O'Brien, that great year last year, faces one batter, gets the hook. Tell us how he's feeling and why Coach Fox did it.
Well, it's just one of those rough kind of things. Caden's the guy who he always wants the ball, but lately he's had a little trouble with his control. And the outing before his last one, he had a good one against High Point where he went 1 1/3. But the outing before that, he walked the first guy and then he walked 2 more. And I think Coach Fox looks at that and didn't want to have a repeat. And if you're Caden, he's kind of getting the message right now that you got to come in and get that first guy out.
Yeah, they are.
So here's Butler.
Great changeup for a first pitch strike. Not exactly what you'd expect, but against a really a good hitter, Patrick Bailey, who's obviously hot, 2-2 tonight. Not necessarily a bad idea, and quickly he's able to jump ahead in the count.
Bailey's done it all. 2 for 2, a walk, an RBI, and a run.
Another really good pitch by Hanson Butler. That 12-6 breaking ball, something Bailey hasn't seen all day. He's seen some good breaking balls from Tyler Baum, but they're almost a little more slurvish. This more 12-6, dropping straight down. He's got Bailey set up for the high fastball if he'll throw it. Just don't know.
NC State scored all 3 of their runs back in the 3rd with 2 outs. They've got runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. But down in the count, 2 strikes is Bailey behind. 0-2 and fouled away.
He went with the right pitch. And the thing about that, right there, even if you don't get the swing on that high fastball, it still sets up. You're all the way up in 0-2 in the count. It sets up that changeup. The only problem with any of that thought process is the fact that Patrick Bailey's a catcher. And one reason I never like facing catchers is because they're probably the best guessers in the game.
He's also the reigning ACC Freshman of the Year, a great campaign a year ago, 13 home runs as a freshman, just like what Sabato has done, but it's Butler out of the pen.
Wow.
And the redshirt senior getting it done. And a little flex there as he meets Martirano. High cheese. And a big K for North Carolina. Seventh inning stretch at Boshamer Stadium, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Everybody having a good time, but make no mistake, this is a big game here. Opening game of a 3-game series. NC State and North Carolina both 16-11 in the ACC, as it'll be pinch hitter Tom Caulfield. No, it's Caleb Roberts still. So Roberts, they flashed something up on the big screen up there, Shu, a second ago. Are you a little surprised they're staying with the lefty versus lefty here?
Well, with the way Swinney's going right now, I don't know how much it matters if they're left-handed or right-handed. He looks absolutely locked in is what he looks. And with Hanson Butler coming in and getting that big punch out, which I know elevated the momentum for the UNC team, at the end of the day, you still got to deal with Nick Swinney and that breaking ball right there.
Strikeout of Roberts. Swinney, 72 strikeouts on the season.
Yeah, look where this starts. Probably mid-chest and then just drops all the way down to the shoes. Nothing Caleb Roberts is going to be able to do with that.
So top of the order, Dylan Harris looking for his first hit, Paul.
Just a really tough spot right here. You got lefty, lefty, lefty against oh, wow.
Wilson can't handle it, and Harris is on here with 1 out.
Looked like he just took his eye off the ball for a second. Maybe picking up Dylan Harris running down the line. See right there. Looked like he ran in on it, and then maybe did the ball take a funny hop at all? No, not really. Just taking a different angle and missed it. Now both teams with 1 error. And that means, unless this is a double play ball, that Aaron Sabato is going to come up.
Bush showing bunt. Swinney at 92.
Yeah, and every time, as I said before, when there's an error in the college game, especially in a game like this, it has an effect.
There's
wow,
off the back of Bush.
What a break for North Carolina right there. And Evan Edwards makes a nice play, the grab, and throws it right square in the center of Dylan Harris's back. And North Carolina, certainly nothing at all wrong with what Nick Swinney's done. And he's gotten the ground ball to 2 of his most reliable guys. And now North Carolina big time threatening with their Their monster of a hitter, and Aaron Sabato up the plate. Looking for the cycle right now.
Sabato, a home run in the first, 2-run style, base hit in the third, and a double in the fifth. With 1 out and runners at first and second. And the freshman phenom at the plate.
Well, he's hit 3 balls tonight hard, and they've been 110 miles per hour, 110 miles per hour, and 109. So if I was an infielder, I'd be on the grass. Give myself some time to react. Situation you drew up. Being able to get 2 of your left-handed hitters on base, however, and then get Sabato up.
Hit hard.
Did.
Boy, it does sound different, doesn't it? Way off. And Sabato could get the cycle right here. Rounding second, headed to third. Sabato with the cycle, and he clears the bases. And North Carolina has taken the lead. How many times do you see a player hit for the cycle? Sabato has done it.
You just don't see this. You don't see this in college baseball. He's just such a special hitter. And right there against Swinney, he's been absolutely dealing. I looked over at you when Swinney came in, and I was worried the game may be over. And Sabato gets up in a clutch situation now and just blasts another ball. And it just hits so hard. Look at how much that ball ricochets. It ricochets all the way out there. And Sabato's all kind of jacked up, and North Carolina back out in front in this game. And wow, did the momentum change all of a sudden, huh?
What a performance by arguably the hottest hitter in the game right now of college baseball, standing over at third base with the cycle, number 19, Aaron Sabato.
What a moment. And don't forget that Hanson Butler had that punch out last inning.
I wasn't going to forget it. And with a worry that perhaps people are going to say Sabato gets back and he's out at third.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And as he slides back, looks like he may have hurt his arm. Hopefully he's okay. But he is out at third. Phenomenal play by the catcher.
Tough spot. Great pick by Patrick Bailey right there. I wonder if it's his shoulder. Let's see. That's a pretty close play over there. With the umpire right on top of it. Looks like they're going to review the play. Yeah, I don't know if he got in there. But the bigger question is he all right? Did that shoulder pop out of joint or? It looked pretty tight.
Good throw by Bailey.
If this doesn't get turned over, it's a big out. Here we go. Let's take another one. I don't know. That's
that
a
looks
tough.
safe to me.
Yeah, that one looks safe.
That one did too.
Yeah, I think he's safe there. But it looks like when he hit the dirt, he kind of jarred his shoulder a little bit.
So, Shu, actually, I've got to admit to the folks, you said going to break that Butler out was going to change the game. Like you had a feeling that it was going to bring that momentum into the dugout, and it did.
That UNC team loves Hanson Butler. He has done everything he can, and they're rooting for that guy so much. And for him to step up in a moment like that, man, everybody's on board. Just changes the momentum, the spirit. They come out there, and you saw it. I mean, that's NC State.
These close calls, they have kept the ruling.
Take one more look at it.
Hand and
you know
tag.
what? We talked about it before. It's just the fact that I think that's 2 calls that probably were wrong. but you can't overturn them because of the call on the field. You don't have enough there to overturn them.
So that'll bring up Danny Soretti. The triple with 2 on for Sabato has given North Carolina the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but the analytics guru for North Carolina shot us the TrackMan information, Micah Daly Harris. How hard do you think that ball was off the wall?
Ooh, I'd love to know. As Soretti pops this one in the air, what's the number?
Another 110 mile per hour.
Yeah, just kept going, didn't it? North Carolina, though, plates 2 across here through 7. They're back on top, 4-3 over NC State. Sigh of relief for Tar Heel fans as Aaron Sabato back out there. The first Tar Heel to hit for the cycle since Colin Moran did it back in 2012. More importantly, just seeing him out there, running out, ready to go for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, he looks good. He's rubbing the shoulder a little bit out there, but you know, Dean, I think he's seeing the ball pretty well. You just can't make a mistake with that guy right now. He's just killing it. And that gets Lancelotti into the game for North Carolina, who's probably their best arm. I've seen Joey Lancelotti up to 97 miles per hour this year, and he just has a super sharp breaking ball. North Carolina got the situation that they wanted right here.
So Lancelotti, 4th pitcher in. Baum, O'Brien, Butler. Now some defensive changes as well. Dallas Tesser out in right field for Coach Fox and the Tar Heels, who are back on top by 1. NC State has held a 3-2 lead since the end of the top of the 3rd, but the triple scoring 2 as Sabato hits the cycle. The difference here, 4 RBI for the man who hits the cycle, coming off a big week that gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, he's been the difference right now for North Carolina. They've been able to get some guys on base, but really the miscues, the errors, the mistakes have been the difference, and that's put Sabato into some situations where he's been able to do some damage.
Inside to McDonough.
Lancelotti throwing 94 right there, very hard, but if you're North Carolina, you want to make sure Lancelotti doesn't go out there and overthrow. He's got plenty good enough stuff. Got to stay within himself. He's got such a good breaking ball.
Cross for a strike from Lancelotti. Baum 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. O'Brien just that one batter. Butler got it done, pumped up his team. Sabato delivers, and now it's Lancelotti for, what do you think? Is he ready to bring it home?
If he pitches well at all, absolutely, they won't take him out. I think he is North Carolina's very best arm.
Ooh, good pitch.
Yep, one of those tough ones. I don't believe the umpire had seen it yet. And that's pretty much right there at the edge. That can go either way. And in his last outing against Pitt, he had a couple of those pitches. He threw a couple of good breaking balls that were right on the corners and didn't get the calls, and then ended up giving up a couple runs against Pitt. It's funny how the game works. Sometimes you get the calls and you got to power through.
Full count, good at bat. McDonough's had a great season. Hitting .339, and he will earn a leadoff walk here in the top of the 8th as both teams digging in. What a matchup here. Number 14 NC State and number 15 North Carolina. What a series it's going to be tonight, tomorrow night, and then Saturday on ESPNU.
No place I'd rather be right now. This is a tight, pretty well played ball game so far. Some good pitching.
Throw back. Keep an eye on McDonough. McDonough 10 for 12. A true base running threat for Elliott Avent and the NC State Wolfpack. The only state player with double-digit stolen bases.
And Lancelotti missing badly with 2 breaking balls, 1 and 3-2. Normally that's his bread and butter. He can throw strikes with his breaking ball almost to both sides of the plate at will. If anything, when he struggles a bit, he struggles more inside the zone with his fastball.
A lot of folks tuning in. We thank you for joining us here on ACC Network Extra for Game 1 of this all-important series, Tobacco Road style, NC State and North Carolina. Special shout-out to longtime NC State Wolfpack fan Alex Mitchell and his beautiful wife, Drury, and their 4 kids listening in on ACC Network Extra. Big-time Wolfpack fans. A lot of eyes on this one, understandably, Shu.
Yeah, no question. No question. And Lancelotti trying to fight back into the count. And it's tough. I think if you asked Joey what his best pitch is, he probably might tell you his breaking ball. And it's really tough when you throw a couple errant ones to have the confidence to get that release point back out there.
Debo can't catch up to that one at 94 miles per hour.
Lancelotti's got the country hardball going, though.
Nice night for it, right?
It is a nice night for it. From up here, it sure sounded loud. There.
Just drop it down to 80.
That was his bread and butter right there. He's got that sharp breaking ball. And after Debo swings through late on a hard fastball, there's nothing you're going to be able to do with this. Watch the break on this. That is really late and sharp. 80 miles per hour and just trouble. Able to get that key first out.
Luca Tresh pinch hitting for Coach Avent and NC State. Trying to take advantage of getting the leadoff batter on. What a comeback strikeout, though. 94, then down to 80 for Lancelotti, a guy that, Paul Shua, you've been singing his praises for quite some time.
Yeah, I just like the way he goes about his business. He usually comes in, pretty much charges in, and comes right after the hitters. Throws a fair amount of breaking balls, but it's so important when you're coming out of the bullpen to have a good breaking ball that you can throw for strikes to keep those hitters honest, even if you throw hard. Luca Tresh all over the plate. Looks like a big guy. He's as close to home plate as you can get. Looks like the infield's got him played to pull a little bit.
Throw back.
Behind in the count here. See if he goes with that good fastball.
Fouled away.
Another 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's been 94, 95 with every pitch. You know, the blood's running pretty hot tonight. It's the fun part of this game. When we walked in, we knew every pitch was going to count. And anytime you can get into those ball games, it's so much fun to watch. That chess match so much more important right now, and all the work that you've done all season, all the wins you've been able to accumulate for both teams on the line.
Belt high.
She's not going to get a lot of edge calls tonight. That fastball, a lot of times to strike, but not tonight.
NC State, 3 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. North Carolina, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. Runner first, 1 out. This could be 2. Oh, it can be none. An error from Soretti, and it's getting tight here in Chapel Hill.
It's getting tight on both teams. We saw Will Wilson, who well established as a solid player, make an error, and now Soretti. That's a pretty standard ground ball. Just flat out, the game's getting a little fast right now for the guys. And that could be the difference in the game at any point in time. That adds pressure. And we've seen it this year when an error is made. Some of the pitchers are able to handle it, keep making good pitches, get another opportunity. And some pitchers have fallen apart a bit. Sabato's still rubbing that shoulder a little bit over at first base.
Pinch runner for NC State. One of the side stories is the fact that a couple falls ago, the Czech Republic came over and played some games against NC State. Elliot Avent really liked a couple of their players' right shoe, and one of their pinch runners now is Vojta Menchik, who is one of 2 players from the Czech Republic on the team.
Yeah, Pro 5 Academy, able to get those players over in front of Coach Avent. And he fell in love with a couple of them and able to get them over here off the U23 Czech Republic team. Pretty neat to see those guys get the kind of opportunity over here.
McDonough at second. Menchik at first. MacArthur at the plate. Could have been a inning-ending double play. Instead, with 1 out, MacArthur standing in. You talk about a guy who has delivered for NC State with runners in scoring position. He is hitting a juicy .412. This for a guy that on the season .217, but then the veins get icy, though, when runners get in scoring position. That's a solid average.
Yep, there's just those guys that feel better with guys in scoring position. It's like you look at it as an opportunity. And when you can look at it that way and stay aggressive in those situations, then a lot of times you come out on top.
The junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. What an at-bat here. And Lancelotti turned around, probably thought he was good, and then, like you said, same thing happened to the big-time MLB talent at short for NC State, Soretti. Such a bright future, easy play.
Yeah, easy play right there. Tough for North Carolina to not get that one, and really one of the key ingredients with this North Carolina team, can they play good enough defense to make a run? Because that's the key. Looks like Coach Woodard going to come out and have a little chat. If you're North Carolina, you're still in that situation. Yes, the bases are loaded, but you've got 1 out. If you can get a ground ball, you can still get out of it. I think Coach Woodard, as much as anything, trying to talk up the defense as much as Lancelotti while he's out there. Make sure that everybody's ready to go and wanting the ball to come to them so they can help get a couple outs.
NC State 39-14. Incredible start to the season. 19 straight wins. North Carolina 37-15. As we said earlier, their stats mirror each other. 16-11 in the ACC. So much on the line at this series. In fact, the experts do believe that the winner of this series could, in fact, host a regional, which is so important. Look at this right here. NC State, they won't win the Atlantic, but with 4 teams at 16-11, you know what that means for seeding. North Carolina, meanwhile, they still have a chance to win the Coastal, let alone host a regional. NC State, they come in here and do something big time, they could be home in Raleigh for a regional. You look at Coach Fox for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, so much on the line right now. Georgia Tech was down 6-0 in that game in the third inning. So, you know, there's a potential loss for them. North Carolina, if they're able to hold on to this lead, which is definitely in jeopardy right this second.
Base is loaded as Dylan Cooper looking for his first hit, a couple strikeouts. See the infield ready to pounce here with just one out. McDonough at third, Menchik at second, MacArthur at first, Cooper at the plate with one out.
That looks like a strike right there. It's just been a tough zone all night. Let's take one more look at that pitch. From that angle, maybe inside? I don't know. Martirano certainly thought it was a strike. Didn't look like he had to do much work to frame it either. It's like everything is there to just apply a little bit more pressure. If you get that called strike with that breaking ball, you feel that much better. You're 0-2. Now you're in a 2-1. What a swing pitch that was.
North Carolina on top by just one. Bases are loaded, just one out. Top of the eighth. NC State. And Dylan Cooper, his best rips of the game so far, but foul.
But even then, right now, if you're Dylan Cooper, you know pretty much a fastball's coming. Lancelotti not able to get that breaking ball called for a strike. Now in this 2-2 count, you'll probably see the breaking ball. But Dylan Cooper late on that fastball.
Lancelotti from William Penn Charter School in Pennsylvania. 2-2, one out pitch.
Woo!
Strikeout.
That's the best breaking ball I might have seen Lancelotti throw this year. 82 miles per hour. Starts up. Look at where this starts. That starts up above the catcher's mask, drops right down. Probably a strike anyway, maybe today. But absolute dirty. Right what North Carolina needed. And now you're one out away from getting out of this monster jam right here.
Not going to be easy, though, Paul Shuey. Johnny Butler's had himself a good game, 2 for 4. In that leadoff spot for NC State with the talented Wilson on deck. Lancelotti. First pitch. Martirano's good catcher.
What a scoop right there. He just picked that. It looked like almost a backhanded pick right there. Maybe even off the plate. You got to figure if you're a catcher, you're sitting back there, you're hoping to be able to frame something on a corner, and then you get a little overthrown fastball right there skimming off, and nice pick by him.
Well, he knows McDonough is over at third base with all kinds of speed. And the Tar Heels, this pop fly from getting out of the jam. Lancelotti with the fist pump. And 3 Wolfpack baseball players left stranded. North Carolina up by 1, coming to the plate. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Coach Fox and the Tar Heels, who got themselves out of a bases-loaded jam. In the top of the 8th, it'll be Freeman, Enweiler, and McGee due up here. Paul Shuey in the bottom of the 8th, in front of a solid crowd here at the Bosch. Game 1 of a 3-game series against the Wolfpack.
Yeah, huge moment, huge game. Like Freeman closing that mitt and pause for a second after he able to get that. Wow.
And then Freeman hits this one deep, way back. And
boom!
Get out of here. Home run, Ike Freeman.
Ike Freeman all over that. You could tell almost in the first swing at the breaking ball that he had a little different attitude at the plate. And then he gets a high fastball and does not miss it. He absolutely crushed that ball out to left field, and he is some kind of jacked up. This North Carolina team, very excited, they're ready to go right now. You notice right there, Sabato looked to me like he had a little, his arm was hanging. He is some kind of torn up right there. What a moment for Ike Freeman. in this series.
Dylan Enweiler. Shoot, Freeman knew it was gone. He knew it was gone. He had his hand up before it was over the fence and turned around as he's running down to first, as you said, all kind of jacked up.
He was so excited. It wasn't even really a run. It was some kind of jumping hop thing that he went around the bases. And he still got around the bases super quick.
Just the 8th home run of the season given up by Swinney.
105 miles per hour off the bat, 351 feet, and it did not take long to get out.
Enweiler 0 for 1.
But that is the one thing I saw. Sabato over there, it looked like he had his arm down. He's been such a offensive threat today. Be a real shame if he has to come out of the game.
Offensive threat equals cycle plus 4 RBI.
Yeah, you can see right there talking about it. Yeah, it's just a little shaky. I think when he hit the dirt on that slide, he may have just jammed that shoulder.
Well, they tend to him. Let's get on that bike. Let's ride that cycle right now. Break it down here, Shu.
Yeah, you see the breaking ball right there. He just hits it right off the eye.
That's the home run.
Yep. And that one was 110, and then he follows that up with a bullet over there. And that one was almost as impressive as anything to me because the third baseman didn't have a chance to move. And then he hits that one, and look at the ricochet factor. I mean, it's basically it ricochets all the way to the left fielder off the wall. It's a different kind of guy, and this is a sad sight to see right here if you're a North Carolina fan.
Oh, my.
Putting that sling on. Maybe it's protective. We don't know. I guess we'll find out more tomorrow.
Swinney coming back with a strike. Fouled back. Phenomenal job taking a look at that cycle. I want to thank our great crew, Evan Badler, outstanding producer, Paul Beam, Ian Lang on replay, along with Baxter Barrett, Alex Carlson getting it done in audio, Jim Quigley. Cameras, Coach Cunningham, Brian Ware, Cam Newworth, Anthony Hanaj. Alongside Paul Shuey, I'm Dean Linke. Great to be with you. This is one of those where I got to admit, I had it circled on my schedule. Love calling a lot of games, a lot of different sports. This was one I was not going to miss.
Yeah, this is an unbelievable game right now. Just when it's so important for the guys. I talked to Ike Freeman before the game, and when he said, you know, I was like, are you ready for this? He's like, absolutely. He's like, there's nothing else to worry about. We have no school right now. It is just baseball. He had a big grin on his face, and the excitement, seeing the coaches. We had that picture with the coaches. They're just – everybody's juiced about baseball, and it's so fun to get out here and see these guys compete at this level.
And it's NC State, North Carolina, right? So much respect, the rivalry.
Yep, it's just special. Nice to be out here.
No, a strikeout. Enweiler was going to try to induce a walk. Mr. Savage says no, sit down with a strikeout.
This pitch right here, a good breaking ball. Starts it out and looked like a pretty good pitch to me. But very similar to a pitch that I saw Lancelotti throw just an inning ago. The zone has moved around a bit tonight.
So here's McGee. Paul, you said Nick Swinney would pitch a lot of innings. Normally lights out, but regardless, he is still out there for NC State.
I think if you're Nick Sweeney, you just have to figure the ground ball to Will Wilson should have been fielded and been an out. And then Evan Edwards, your first baseman that never, has not had an error all year, throws a possible double play ball squarely into Dylan Harris's back, running to second. It's just the game picks up speed right now. It's just tough on the guys to slow it down in the clutch. It depends so much on the pitching and being able to keep executing even with stuff that's going on.
Fouled away. Meanwhile, if you're Coach Fox and you see Freeman with what we'll call an adrenaline pop right there as he smoked it out of there, that 2-run lead is huge as they're 3 outs away from winning this opening game.
Yeah, that home run just allows Lancelotti a little room for error. And that's so important. It allows you to attack maybe a little bit better because you're not worried about giving up that home run. Nice play by Edwards right there.
Well, it ended up being a little bit closer over at first.
Yep, looked like
Swinney's footwork there.
Trying to get over in time. Kind of interesting to see. Ashton was hustling down the line. Edward makes it kind of a, yep. Looked like Ashton got a little piece of Swinney's foot when he came over as he's lunging. And we got another visit right here. Looks like, is he going to make a move right here?
Yeah, we got somebody coming in already. We'll take a break, come back and show you the new pitcher for NC State. The Freeman home runs made it 5-3 North Carolina. New pitcher for NC State, Andrew Blake, right-hander junior from Louisville, North Carolina, by way of Pitt Community College.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Avent, I guess earlier in the week, NC State had an inner squad. They had some time during the week to stay loose out there, and Andrew Blake came in the inner squad. Coach said he was blowing 92 to 94 with a hammer, and so there's a decent chance you'll see him. He hasn't exactly been in our normal group of guys, but he sure looked good this week. So to his word, he's out there right now. See what he can do. He's got a fastball 92, 94, and a good breaking ball.
Brandon Martirano, as the first pitch is inside on Martirano, who took one off that left elbow, Paul, on Tuesday in that win over High Point.
Yeah, he's taken 3 balls off that front arm, and you can see that pad he's got. Just, you got to imagine that's taking a little bit of toll on that swing. I don't think he's super comfortable swinging with that thing.
Little teaser, NC State with Wilson, Edwards, and Bailey due up for the Wolfpack. That's 2, 3, and 4. 344 for Wilson, Edwards hitting 332, Bailey hitting 301. So some major pop coming up for NC State in the top of the 9th as they're hoping Blake can close the door and give NC State a chance. NC State has had a magical season. 19-0, 39-14, second, and they're part of the ACC, and without question, they are a team that will be dangerous in the NCAA tournament. A strikeout there for Blake. Great call by you. The Wolfpack coming to bat. Ike Freeman with an extra run for North Carolina, making it 5-3 here in Chapel Hill. Pretty much everything you could ask for in this one. Number 14, NC State. Number 15, North Carolina. Early lead for North Carolina. NC State claws back. They get the lead. Sabato, the freshman phenom, gets the cycle to give the lead back. And now to top it off, NC State with the meat of their order coming to bat to take on Lancelotti here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, if you want an important save opportunity right now, a leverage situation, Lancelotti's in it. He's able to get out of that last inning with 1 out and the bases loaded after an error and really pick up his team, and out here for the 9th facing the meat. Will Wilson will probably be in a major league uniform here in the next maybe 3 years out there. Impressive talent for NC State.
Wilson, that looks like a major league hit to me, a leadoff single. As I said, everything you could want as the tying run coming to the plate for the Wolfpack here in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, when I watched Will Wilson and did a little bit of research, you saw him. He punishes mistakes. NC State 39-14, 16-11 in the ACC, and RPI at 24.
Projected right now as a 2 seed.
And the funny thing about that is that could all change with a couple base hits. That's why this game's been fun. Figure right now Edwards is up at the plate, and he's the tying run. Every pitch matters.
Edwards, 13 home runs, 54 RBI, 1 for 3 as Lancelotti keeps an eye on Wilson.
And Blake last inning came in just like Coach Avent said, came in throwing 92, 94, and got a quick strikeout.
This one is leaking. Look at the effort there from Freeman. Almost made one of those special plays, but new life here for Edwards.
That's one of those balls right there that I just feel like it's being missed a little bit by the analytics. When you're playing a shift, you play a shift and you get those pop-ups. Look how far Ike Freeman has to go to get there. Whereas if you were playing straight up, it's probably a fairly easy play for the left fielder to get over. And Ike actually overran that, which is crazy.
Just the second season with the Wolfpack is Edwards, the transfer from USC Lancaster. Stellar season a year ago, finished at .297 with 58 hits and a slugging percentage of .564. He had 15 home runs last year, so 15 last year, 13 this year. That is a model of consistency for the transfer as they throw back to first.
And they said that he's projected to go in the first 10 rounds of the draft. Always a little tougher, you figure. Well, it's a little bit similar to Michael Bush when he was at first base. That's
also going to be foul.
That looked like it was going to be trouble. That stayed in fair territory for a good while till it finally sailed out. The inside out of that. But a first baseman, it's tougher as a first baseman to get drafted fairly high unless you've just got pretty silly numbers. But if you're an outfielder, you've got a better chance to maybe get yourself higher up in that draft.
No outs here, top of the ninth. Wilson at first. Edwards at the plate, 2-2 pitch, and a strikeout. Lancelotti strikes out Edwards.
Huge strikeout right there. I think I was guessing slider, just because Lancelotti loves that pitch so much. And really, he'd just thrown an absolutely nasty one at 83 miles per hour. And maybe Edwards thinking the same thing and not able to catch up with that 95-mile-an-hour heater up around the chest.
First pitch strike against Patrick Bailey. Bailey, solid game behind the plate, throwing out Sabato down there at third. Couple hits, a run, and an RBI. Batting average at .301. He's got some power, 9 home runs, but he's behind 0-2.
Yeah, you could feel that momentum shift, and you could feel that momentum shift when Hanson Butler had that big punch out.
Yeah, you called it. Let's see.
Patrick Bailey so settled up there at the plate, just looks good. Pretty cool when you can see a guy who might get a chance to represent USA.
Another one of those moon shots, but just a High fly ball out. McGee is under it.
See right here, Bailey, after that pop-up, so upset. Just like Ashton McGee, every at-bat, every swing, every pitch, so important right now. Execution, but guys like Lancelotti with electric stuff, it's just hard to take good swings every time and make good decisions.
Yeah, Captain Obvious, but you can't win all three unless you win the first one. Such a big swing to win that first game as North Carolina just 1 out away from taking game one.
Yeah, they've run the numbers on that. If you can win the first one, you've got a great chance to win the series. Lancelotti just blowing some smoke right now.
Tyler McDonough. McDonough, if you're wondering about his home run power, he's hit 4 this season. He's also hit 14 doubles, so this young man has the ability to punish you. He is 1 for 2, 2 walks and an RBI. 44 RBI on the season.
Well, if you think about NC State, they've come back a ton this year in games, so all these hitters look settled to me. They don't look like they're stressed out in the situation. They've been in this situation a bunch and actually come through. That's why you see so many RBIs. Looks like it's like a whole team of 44 RBIs or better.
Yeah, they have come back. That's one thing North Carolina hasn't done. In fact, scoring those 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th was big because when trailing after 7, they have not had success. Better play here from the fans, so looking more like Edwards now are the fans.
Well, Lancelotti right here has a chance to put NC State to bed, at least for tonight.
1 strike away from going to 17-11 in conference play and moving the record to 38-15 is North Carolina. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Lancelotti closes the door. North Carolina wins game 1 of this all-important series against their rivals from NC State.
Such a huge victory for North Carolina right there. Tyler Baum with a really good outing. Aaron Sabato with an unbelievably mammoth day out at the plate. And Hanson Butler, an unsung hero that was able to help it, and Lancelotti brings it home.
North Carolina now 38-15, 17-11.